Hi folks, Robert O'Brien from O'Brien Guitars. I recently had a guitar come into my shop here on the bench behind me, and the owner said, look, I have a very high-end classical guitar. It just does not sound good. Is there anything you can do? And against my better judgment, it took me a little bit of convincing, but I finally said, okay, I'll see what I can do. I captured the frequencies when the guitar came in, and it was resonating, the top was resonating at exactly 220 hertz, which is right on a scale tone. And so there was a wolf note that we had to deal with, and the guitar was just way overbuilt. 220 hertz for a top resonance on a classical guitar is a bit high. So the guitar was just way overbuilt. So there's three ways to control what I call stiffness and looseness as you build. One is the thickness of the plate. In other words, the thickness of that top is going to determine how stiff or how loose it is. The second way is the bracing pattern, the size, the shape, and the specs, and where you place it on that instrument. And the third way is what you do with those braces after they're on there, because you can remove material. Now, this particular guitar is from a pretty well-known maker. It's very high-end. It had a spruce top, very thick, in some places over 3 millimeters, which is pretty thick for a classical guitar. Also, the fan bracing was, instead of your typical 7 fan bracing, it was 9 fan braces with an asymmetrical brace, similar to the Fleta design, although it was the lower transverse asymmetrical brace didn't go all the way across the top like the Fleta design would. So, of the three ways to control stiffness and looseness, I'm limited to that last one, is what you do with the braces after they're on there. And I decided to go in through the sound hole with a small hand plane and some sanding blocks and go to work. After about a half day and a very swollen wrist at the end of the day, all bruised and very sore, and of course there were a few swear words mixed in with that, I was able to get the top frequency from 220 hertz all the way down to 190 and some change, which was my target. My target was 190. I came in, I think, about 190.4, 190.3, something like that. The box frequency I was targeting was around 100. I came in about 101.4, 101.5, which is acceptable. So we're off the scale tones. The guitar is much more resonant at this point. As I'm capturing the frequencies throughout the whole process, I noticed that the guitar is becoming more and more resonant. So now we have a completely different sounding guitar, one that resonates and is very, very responsive. The monopole mobility came in and it was just very low, very similar to factory guitars. Now it's much, much higher. And so we're very happy with the results, and I'm sure that the owner will be extremely happy as well. A word of caution if you decide to do this though. Be careful of hitting target frequencies, because you can make it worse tonally by landing on scale tones and creating more problems with wolf notes. You can also have structural integrity issues. Be careful with the amount of degree of rotation of the top as you're shaving the braces. Check it after everything you do to that instrument to make sure you're not going to have structural integrity and tonal issues. So that's what I decided to do. The guitar is much, much better now. And happy building.